Hello, everyone, and welcome to Enlightened Conversations. My name is Raul Angelic Messenger and author, and I'm really delighted to be here with you all today on Enlightened Conversations. Before I introduce my very special guest for today, I'd like to send a happy birthday to Irina in Slovenia. And Irina, happy birthday, and thank you for staying up. Irina said to me, "Oh, I want to be the first thing that I watch your program on my birthday." So thank you, Irina, for staying up and for watching Enlightened Conversations, and happy birthday. She lives in a beautiful country of Slovenia, the only country in the world that carries the word love in its name. So thank you so much. Hi, Michelle, and hi, Jag, and I saw my very special guest for today. Allow me to introduce Michael Muir. Michael is a transformational healer, teacher, somatic psychotherapist, astral shaman, and light worker language channel for ascended masters energy and galactics. His role is to bring through energy from many different realms. After a trip to Uluru in Central Australia in 2013, he began to strongly connect with the Pleiadean energy. Michael, as an astral shaman, much of his work is to awaken people's souls to their origin and to their divine life purpose. So, an amazing guest today. So allow me to just bring Michael on to us. It's going to be a great show. We're going to go for about an hour, and Michael is going to be joining us right here, right now. Hi, Michael.
Hello. Nice to see you,
Nice
everybody.
to see you. Thank you so
Can you
much
hear me?
for joining us on Enlightened Conversations.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite, Raul.
Thank you. I just did your introduction a minute ago, and it's been quite an amazing journey for you, particularly since your trip to Uluru in 2013.
Sure. Yeah, my background a little bit was body-orientated therapy, somatic psychotherapy, connecting the body and the mind. And during, I guess, during that 4-year training, we did hands-on bodywork training. And during that component of the hands-on bodywork training is when I started to speak strange sounds, which I later found was light language. And that's when the work started to come through me. And it was really at Uluru where I had a real powerful opening, connecting with the Pleiadean energy of the land there, and also it was actually a cryon event at the time, so really his energy is very much around the Pleiadians as well, so it was a very powerful few days. Yeah.
Michael, for people that they haven't seen you, they haven't seen your work, and the first time that I came across you on Facebook, yes, I thought this guy is just loopy. What on earth is going on? What would you say to people like that?
It does, like the stuff I do sounds weird and strange, yeah. And I come from a science background. So I originally trained in microbiology in England and moved over here to Australia about 20 years ago. And I never thought I would be talking a lot of strange sounds so I guess so just go with the flow. That's what I say to people. You know, it may resonate with you, it may not. But basically, it's a way of getting your cognitive mind out of the way. So the sounds that I make aren't really understandable. Some people, if they have a connection to light language, may understand what it all means. But mainly it sounds like a lot of gobbledygook, yeah? And it sounds a bit weird. Some people may say it's like talking in tongues in the Christian sense. But it's basically what I believe and what I notice and working with groups and clients is that this is a form of an energy transmission. So even though it sounds weird, it sounds sort of uncomfortable potentially to the human ear, it sort of is really a way of bringing energy into the body and shifting your energy body. So it's sort of like a download of energy. So don't get so focused on the sound and what it all means, but just let the sound and the vibration wash over you. And I guess shift your body, shift your energy, and shift your mind. Yeah.
Mm. I guess that when I first came across you, as you were saying just before, the cognitive mind plays a part in it. And as an academic, and I understand that because I always had that tug of war between my academic mind and my belief in angels. And
Yeah.
I ended up going to a university that has an angel on the logo. So, you know, you still go through that tug of war. But one thing that happened to me when I first saw you online is that it was exactly what you just explained. I put that sound and that cognitive mind aside, and truly what you did for me is that you actually connected with my soul. And as you did that, that's when I've actually found that, okay, there's something here. And I just, to be honest, I couldn't get enough of watching your videos because I found you and then I went back and I started watching things that you've done in the past to actually, it was kind of like without being horrible, it was kind of like becoming addicted because you're actually connecting, your soul is connecting to that sound that it really understands, but your mind doesn't quite get it. And I recommended you to people, and I said to people, just have a look at Michael. It may sound weird to start with, but just stick with it because the soul connection is truly what resonates. And one thing that I did was I didn't look at you. I just closed my eyes and I went within. And that's when I found that the true connection took place.
I think that's spot on, Raul. I mean, from what you said, yeah, some people prefer to just listen to the sound. So if that's what you prefer, close your eyes and just let the energy wash over you and go into your body, go into your mind and your consciousness. Some people like to see the visual, and if that's the case, because when I'm doing it, you can see energy moving in my body. So some people also like that. Just depends who you are. Some people it's distracting. It's easy just to listen to the sound. And I guess this is channeled from different dimensional space, different dimensional cosmic energies, sometimes ascended masters, and also sometimes elemental energies. It is seductive, it is a juicy energy. So I understand what you're saying when it feels addictive, because it is connecting us with our essence, with our core. And so it is quite a heightened experience, and it feels like it works on the whole chakra system. Yeah.
I guess that we've been living in this world of duality where we get up, we eat, we go to work, we come back home, and we actually forget to feed the soul. And when you find that soul nourishment, as I did with the sound that you were producing, it was something that I just couldn't get enough. And I kept on just coming back to it. I've also looked at other people online that they do light language and light channel, but I don't know. I resonated with you. I didn't resonate with others, and probably the same will happen to other people. It's like going to a doctor. Yes, you resonate with a doctor and you resonate with a practitioner. It truly depends on who you actually connect with.
I think that's so true. I mean, I think we're all drawn to different people at different times, and our soul kind of knows what's right for us. Maybe there's some past life connection with that person. Or maybe it's just the frequency that person's bringing through resonates with your soul in that soul group. But definitely a sense of people that are attracted to my work usually find it through intuition, by accident, through a friend, and they don't really know what it's all about. But when they feel into it, experience it, whether it's face-to-face in a group or whether it's online through Facebook Live, they have something that touches them in their soul, in their body, and then they recognize that it's a kind of an ancient knowing, an ancient reconnection, which sounds like you experienced when you first heard the work.
Yeah, I guess that I will always say to people, and I recommend everybody watching Enlightened Conversations, go on onto Michael's page Michael Muir's on Facebook, and you're going to find the videos that Michael has done from past live feeds. And you can actually see the work and you can experience the work. And it's such an important part, Michael, that it's not only people seeing you at work, but it's the way of technology nowadays that it allows us to actually experience your work, because it allows me to actually get in touch with you before going to see you face to face, because seeing you face to face can actually be quite confronting for some people. And if I get used to the sound and your practice online on Facebook, and later on I decide to go and see you, it's kind of like I know you. It becomes kind of like friendly. You may not know me, but I know you.
I think it's true. I think when the work's a little unusual for people, whether it's this work or whether it's any other kind of spiritual work or any work really, that I think that the new technologies, the social media, is allowing us to build a connection with somebody, build that safety, and I think that's so important as a therapist as well. You know, that's the first port of call. We, especially as the people I work with, often high spirituality, very connected to the upper chakras, but the lower chakras sometimes need some work, and the base chakra, which is all about safety, or belonging or being here, it feels like that's the first thing that a lot of us need to work on, so that we can ground the higher energies into the earth. And I think if we can build safety and connection and community, whether it's face-to-face or even just online, and start to spread, I guess, a foundation of love and strength in our base, it's going to build more community. And then people do eventually come and see me face to face, or do a session online on Skype or whatever. But yeah, I definitely feel like this medium is a beautiful way for people to get a flavor of other people's work. Yeah.
But it must be funny for you, because people probably walk into your studio and they feel like they know you and you don't know them from a bar soap.
That's true.
No, but you know what I mean, that familiarity, that the people, they will talk to you perhaps like if they've known you for a while.
Yeah, and you know, I think there's sort of, I think that's sort of true. There's a familiarity that gets sort of seeing the person online and feeling their energy. And you know, maybe it's not all, should we say, fake. You know, maybe there is a soul connection there, and there is a recognition of the work. And so even though I don't know them personally, there's something that happens between us on the online connection that actually, I guess, ignites the connection, even if it's from past life experience. Yeah.
And I'm glad that you actually made that connection there, that link, because it's quite important to understand that the work that you're actually doing is truly to awaken people's souls, not only to connect with you, but to connect with themselves and to, as you said, to achieve the divine life purpose, what they came here to do. And sometimes it may take us this lifetime or another one, or it may be awakened right here, right now, in this moment with you, talking to people out there. You do run sessions. I know that you do have a studio in Sydney and you run group sessions in Sydney. But if people want to see you as well, they can do so online, yes? You can do it on Skype or Messenger. Or...
Sure. I actually feel that, I mean, some people like the face-to-face connection, and I feel that, you know, it can be a little bit more potent in a live group, and I feel like the group situation does enhance the content and the energy. However, I do feel that what I've experienced doing on social media stuff, Facebook Lives, the energy is still quite as potent just doing through that. So I do take clients from interstate and other countries via FaceTime, Facebook, Skype, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I still feel that it's activating their energy and their soul. Yeah,
and it's quite important. I mentioned before at the top of the show that Irina from Slovenia is actually watching us, And it's Irina's birthday today. So happy birthday, Irina. And she said to me, yeah, she said to me, oh, I want to be the first thing that I watch on my birthday, your show. So she actually stayed up because she wanted to connect with you. And that's such an important thing.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Because it's probably about midnight in Slovenia. And I always remember Irina. Yeah, I always remember
Hope
Irina.
she's still awake and enjoying.
I remember Irina fondly because she said to me when we first met, do you know, Raul, Slovenia is the only country in the world that carries the word love in its name. And it's something that stuck in my mind. And that's something that you actually do so well, Michael, in your work. That unconditional love that you actually send to people through the connection, through the way that you talk to people, through the way that you actually do the light language, and the way that you actually make yourself available for people.
Thank you. I guess my work feels just really a calling that I've always had. I mean, I've always wanted to support people. Even back in the days of science, I was helping people with leukemia, and then I moved to somatic psychotherapy, which obviously, and I still work with people in a traditional therapeutic sense because I enjoy the variety of the work. So I feel very open to it. Comes kind of naturally, and it also, as I connect more with my essence, I feel like I'm really here to support others in connecting to their essence in whatever way I can. So it's pretty easy for me to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. But Michael, to people that are there listening to us and watching us, can anyone do light language?
I don't feel like it's everybody's soul calling, yeah? Okay. I feel like people have many different soul gifts, yeah? I feel like at this time on the earth, as the energies are accelerating, there is I guess an upliftment, which is allowing a lot of more people to connect with light language. I don't think everybody will do light language, or open up to it, but I think there's more and more people, so there's a possibility that you may be watching this call, and I have had people that work in my groups in Sydney and clients that have come to me, and as we've worked, a byproduct of this healing sessions is that they've opened up to their light language. Yeah.
I'm only asking that question because I've seen some people online trying to teach other people how to actually, I don't know, talk in light language. And
yeah.
I'm a bit, I don't know, perhaps that's my academic mind, and I'm a bit skeptical because I think that we all have the potential to be a doctor, but do we really have the passion, the skills, and as you perfectly said, the calling to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be a plumber, to be a motor mechanic? It takes a particular calling. You need to be perhaps so inclined for that knowledge and that skill to come easily to you. Is it not so?
And also, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't really. I've seen that people do workshops for supporting people to speak light language. I don't really know so much about them, so I can't comment on those. Okay. But for myself, it wasn't something that I trained in. It was something that came to me, I think, from past lives, really, and I reopened to it. So my sense is that if you're meant to do it, it will come innately, or it won't. But that's just my experience of the process personally, yeah.
Yeah, I think that you need to follow, I usually say to people, drop into your heart chakra and follow your heart. That passion will ignite, that connection will ignite. Whatever you're meant to be doing, you will be doing, but it's a matter of truly finding what is it that actually makes you happy. Does it make you happy?
Exactly, and I feel that there's so many other different forms of healing that it doesn't have to be light language, and some people write light language. Yeah, right. I think there's a Facebook group called Keepers of the Codes, okay. And if you if you look at that Facebook group, you'll see people writing light language. So there's many different forms of light language, and you may not speak it, you may write it, you may do hand gestures. So it just really depends, I guess, on who you are in your soul calling, as you said. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, the question is, as I was just mentioned before, does it make you happy?
For me,
Yes.
it does. I feel like it's opened my energy body and made me feel lighter and more joyous. You know, it's like I'm connecting with more energies of my true nature, and so over the time I've been working with it. As much as I have supported others, it has supported an internal transformation in my own state too.
Yeah. How do you deal with what you used to do before to what you do now with family and friends?
So it's been a bit of a journey, yeah? So, I mean, I moved from science to therapy, then therapy to speaking strange sounds, yeah? So...
What did your mom say?
What's the mom say? I don't go into it.
Okay.
But she is happy that I'm happy, you know? She's happy that I'm happy. So some people, some family and friends are open to it, some people aren't. And at first, I guess the more I got comfortable with who I am and the work I bring through, I don't really mind people's reactions anymore, whether they're good or bad, because I feel like I'm on track. And when I'm having an off day and when I'm having a bit of self-doubt, that's when I think the critique comes in from the external just to remind me to stay on track. So I feel pretty happy with where I'm at with it and the people's responses, yeah.
I think that is a beautiful statement that you just made, because so many people tend to have different personas, yes? And you simply don't change who you are. You just allow people to like or dislike, or to talk or not to talk about, but you're not changing who you are in order to please somebody else, and that's quite important.
Yeah, and I think just growing up a gay child in the north of England, you know, it set me up for feeling different. Mm-hmm. It set me up for feeling a little bit outside the norm. So as I've transitioned in my work and worked with my spirituality and the light language and everything, it's just been an extension of growing up feeling a little different, you know. So it doesn't come as... Because I know as people step into their soul work, it can be a little confronting. Some past life fears can come up, and some past life traumas can come up around the throat, around the solar plexus, coming into your power. And I think it's just working with those edges and knowing that it's part of the process, and that it is a little different to the societal norms, but that's okay, you know.
Listen, I feel you and I understand you. I grew up in South America as a gay child, believing in angels and talking to angels with my grandmother and my mother. But the outside world didn't quite understand that. And now I ended up writing a kid's book for angels, because now you can talk to children about all that and they put no barriers. They really go with it and they really understand. Have you had any experiences with children and light language?
I've had a couple of children come to events it was when I've held events in Sydney, and I've always found them very delightful, and it's sort of, yes, their energy's very light, and they're very receptive, you know, very receptive to the work, because they're not as, I guess, conditioned, or they haven't formed opinions as strongly yet, so they just sort of really allow themselves to absorb the work, which is really beautiful to witness.
I guess that what we see now coming through is what I call them our little rainbow warriors. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
They do understand that. They do get it.
They do, and I think as the frequency of the Earth shifting and the parents' energies are shifting too, I think the sensitivities and the psychic gifts and potentials of the next generation are just going to become stronger, more powerful, and more mainstream. And that is going to allow people like us, I think, to be more mainstream and actually be respected for the work we do and what we bring to the earth at this shifting transitional time. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. I think that the shift is actually, or the crack on that veil, if you wish, it's becoming wider and wider, and people are actually resonating in more with their souls and what the souls is actually telling them to do, much more than what society is actually telling them that they should be doing, they should be driving, they should be owning. And we're doing away with the owning and paying attention, because in the end, what we really own is the lessons that we're going to take with our souls. The rest really doesn't really matter.
I agree, and I feel like there's so much, I guess, there's a turning within society around disappointment and disenfranchisement of the structure that's holding people at the moment with the political structure and the way the world's run. So I think people are yearning for more connection within themselves, and I think, and I feel like it's our role to support them with the energies that we can bring through and the guidance that we can bring through. To really simply, I feel like all I do is really I'm a conduit for different energies to support people reconnecting with themselves. And my flavor of doing that just happens to be light language.
Mm-hmm. And what a great flavor. I'm not sure, I've forgotten to bring my watch, so I'm not sure how we're going on time. Have you got a watch or clock thing handy?
I can't see. Oh, give me one. Do you want me to have a quick look what the time is?
Sure, please.
Give me 1 second.
While Michael is actually having a look at the time, because Michael is going to do an exercise with all of us in just a moment. And I just wanted to make sure that we're not running short in time.
So we're at 25 past.
Okay, 25 past. So we're going rather well. Before we actually get into the transmission of the light language that you're going to do, Michael, just for the people that are watching now, tell us where they can find you if they are so inclined to do so.
So there's a few options. You can check out my website. It's www.soulmagiccollective.com. So www.soulmagiccollective.com. I've also got a Facebook group called Soul Magic Collective that they can join, and it will give them access to free light language transmissions. There's also free YouTube transmissions on my website if people want to hook into those. And or they can add me on Facebook as myself, Michael Muir, and they will also have access to some free stuff that they can sort of tune into from time to time.
Yeah, and I think that that's a really great idea as an introduction into light language, to go to your Facebook page and to watch those, and then take it from there. And as you were saying before at the beginning, if it's not for you, simply move on.
Sure.
And
go
on.
I just wanted to answer a quick question that came up earlier about leukemia and can light language support, because I mentioned leukemia as past work when I was working in science. I feel like, just on that note, I feel like the work I'm doing at the moment is in groups in Sydney is around cellular transformation, shifting the cellular consciousness, DNA, mitochondria. And so I feel like the answer to that question would be, I think there's a potential that we can shift diseases such as leukemia. In the future, we'll be able to use energy medicine much more, and the sound can actually shift the cellular consciousness that will then shift the disease potential or the genetic history of the cell. It's a bit like shifting, I guess, the hereditary trauma that we carry from our lineage. I feel like it's all potentially interchangeable if we actually can work on the cellular consciousness. Yeah.
it will actually make, and this is my academic mind coming into play, but it will actually make an excellent case study to be studied by somebody doing some research in university and connecting that with light language. It will probably take a few years to follow that through, but hey, time is there, and time will still
Well,
pass.
there's interesting stuff going on in the world around different modalities now, and I'm sure as time goes on, we'll get more sort of, I guess, scientific backup, scientific proof to
Yeah,
support the findings. Yeah.
and that's what is needed, because if you remember, probably less than 15 years ago, insurance company wouldn't actually accept if you were going for acupuncture or myotherapy. And nowadays, that's part of your insurance. You pay the premium to actually be able to claim that. So that will not surprise me that in a couple of decades, we'll be going down that path, and also validating the work. And we cannot really move away from being souls living a human experience, Michael, and we live in a society. And everything that we do, in essence, for the major skepticals, need to have certain validation. And now you go to doctors that will send you to an acupuncturist.
And that's what I say to folks, that don't know my work, is that I think even when I was doing somatic work, body work, I feel like I always tell people to come and try it out, whether it's online or whether it's face-to-face, because it's about having the visceral experience of it in your own system, in your own mind, in your own body, because then you have your own validation that it's for you or not. And I think people do need that, and people do get a little bit wary of things that they don't understand or haven't heard of. So I think it's about warming up the consciousness, warming up your ego to trying something new that can be a little frightening at first, but it's about giving it a go, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And well, I'm just planning when I'm going next to Sydney to visit family, and hopefully
Cool.
I'll make it around that time where you are actually holding a workshop or go and see you on a private session. We'll do something like that in
That would be
the not too
lovely.
distant future.
Fantastic. Yeah, great.
Shall we go into a transmission, do you think?
I think so. So,
Okay. Just explain to people, set the scene a little bit on what do we need to do. Do we sit?
yeah.
Do we lay? Whatever.
Oh, okay. So before I start, I guess just getting comfortable. So that can be sitting up, that can be lying down, eyes open or eyes closed. It's really up to you. However, when I'm doing workshops as well, it's really for me. I feel the body is most able to receive new information if it's relaxed. Yeah. So just a position that you feel good in as a body, so that your energy channels can open and relax, and then we can just sort of work with the sound that comes through. So what I will be doing is just making some sound which I channel through, which is called light language, but is a series of sounds that don't make sense to the auditory ear, but it's a sequence of sounds that hold a vibration that will I guess support you coming into your own energy, activating your own energy, activating your own soul, feeling more connected, and sort of working with your own soul extensions, bringing everything that you are into the now. That's what I feel like the work's about, bringing everything that, bringing all the information that you hold as a soul into this moment. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I feel guided, firstly, to do something particularly for the birthday girl, yeah?
Irina, beautiful.
Yeah? So this is also for everybody, yeah? And so the sound that wants to come through, because you said she's from, was it Slovenia?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was about love, yeah?
Yes.
Slovenia is about love. So I feel like this first transmission that would like to come through is basically for the heart chakra, yeah?
Beautiful.
And this is a transmission of love from, should we say, the divine feminine energy. We could say Mother Mary, or we could say Kuan Yin, Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's basically a transmission of energy to support an opening and an opening to love within the heart chakra. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So all you have to do is, I guess, listen to the sound and get comfortable as I make the sound. You may want to watch it visually, the energy moving in my body as I channel. You may want to close your eyes. So either or. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll just do that. Ele potara kuishwe nanaka do yala dara kana nanaka. Kishkiti koto to to kuishwe pokoishwe shimen nanaka. He nanaka. He spokoto to roria pataki on the ruyo yo batika tataka. Elaka. Here we are. Yo. Patakoto to kepa pataraka. Ali anaka. E patoto e pakata e kata. Shitiko. Shipatokoto to traki. Patara donna kata. La kata. And just taking a couple of breaths there and resting into the stillness of the energy. Noticing how you feel in your body, in your mind, in this expansive, expanded heart consciousness that we have created together. If you wish, feel free to ask any questions on the message, on the comments, or anything that you're experiencing. If you'd like to give feedback, all is welcome. And then coming back to the space. Yeah.
That was just beautiful, Michael. Really uplifting. It was.
How are you?
I felt like an expansion.
In the heart.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Very still right now, hey? So, should we do some more?
Please.
Yeah. It's also good for viewers to drink some water either during or after this session, just to flush any toxins out that have cleared from the energy work. Yeah.
Excellent.
So when I was walking down the street this morning before we started, I was thinking, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do for you guys? And it felt to work with the throat, yeah, the throat and the solar plexus especially.
Okay.
So I think we're going to work with the throat next. And there's a lot of folks I feel at the moment having throat stuff going on, you know, as their throat chakras are opening so that they can bring through more of their truth, whether it, you know, soul truth, whatever you want to call it. But as the energies are shifting us, I feel like this is a point of past life trauma for many, where it's hard to open their throat and speak up for what they believe in or what their soul wants to bring through. So I guess this energy now is for particularly the throat to sort of, I guess, release, with the intention of releasing any I guess it would be energetic distortions or past life trauma that has been caused in the energetic template to block the throat speech. So let's just work with the energy of the throat now. Yeah. Jishibudutututi pakatatanaka, Kikutushki Petakatakatakatagoida, Shirapandigi. Elekota Tatakanaka Patotoi, Patotoi, Pakatakatakataki, Undakamataka, Kiki 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 Kiki. And then just breathe a few breaths down into the base and ground the energy. Yeah. Letting the energy settle, grounding it through your base, through your feet, through the back of your spine to the chair or the couch. And coming back. Yeah. How are you doing there, Raul?
That felt to me, Michael, like an it was like a hot knife on butter on my throat, and everything just melted away.
Beautiful. So it feels like it was just a sort of subtle releasing of anything that's been restricting the throat chakra, so that we can, I guess, come into our personal power around us.
Yeah. A fellow author the other day reminded us on Facebook, and her name is Sally, from White Light Publishing House, and she was saying so many people are actually out there saying speak your truth, and we are forgetting about speaking the truth, and that actually is what you have done. It's sort of like it allows us to open up that area to speak the truth.
I think so, and I think for particularly our community, the spiritual, energetic, light worker, shamanic kind of community, working with angels, whatever your particular flavor is, I think we've had many reincarnations, and in that there's been a lot of build-up of past life trauma where it hasn't been safe to speak, or it hasn't been okay to bring our truth through, especially in a spiritual sense. Yeah. So even back to the days of the Cathars and that kind of lineage, it's almost like we hold all of this in the energetics of the body through the and so as we open in this new transitional point of the earth, there's a lot of fear coming up in people, because I think many of us have got to this point before in our spiritual journey or our path, and then had some kind of impediment happen from external or, I don't know, the culture, whatever. So I think there's a fear, a real core fear ignited when we start to step up, which I think keeps getting reignited every time we step up that little bit further. And I think that's what a lot of us in the light work type community are facing, our own sort of blocks or fears, resistances to speaking up and showing up. Yeah. It's risky to be different. Yeah. It's
well,
risky.
yeah. Tell us
against
about it.
You know. Yeah. So let's move to the solar plexus. Yeah.
Lovely.
So again, the solar plexus is the power center, and that this is the center that also we can contract around fear, around if we are frightened, or if we are expanding and there's some subconscious rumblings of the past coming through, it's sort of the anxiety comes up to purify as we expand. So a lot of us have also had wounds from the Atlantean times where there was a misuse of power. So there's fear around misusing our power again and it going into some sort of catastrophe, or a fear that we won't be able to use our power and something will go wrong. So it's just all that stuff around power struggle, yeah, internally, externally projected. So we're just going to bring through. I'm going to bring some energy really to support the clearing of the solar plexus, so that we can again feel freer in our energetic body, releasing some of the restrictions of the past lives, so that we can bring more of the soul in, so that we can move forward in whatever way that may be. Yeah. Badududuki kana ka Goshukotudududu Katakotiki Katakataki Tikotakanako Takatokatakabi Bogon Shoro Shokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokotokoto periki, bokatataki, onoto ishkatakatakataki, totototoka, dotote periki, ushpatakatakataki, dokotokataka, kakaka, 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 shipuku. Just grounding that energy through your body, through your feet, through your base to the earth. Taking a few breaths.
Wow.
How are you doing there, Raul?
Michael, that was amazing. It started like, if I can put it on a visual for people, on my solar plexus like a point, like when you do a dot of ink, yes, on wet paper, and the ink starts kind of like spreading out. And it was that beautiful energy of spreading out and opening up that solar plexus. But at the same time, as the solar plexus was opening up, it truly connected my heart and my throat and all of the other chakras. So it was beautiful.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Ooh, yeah. And again, it's sort of like, I feel like the work that comes through me is really about connecting people up and as well as down. So, perfect. Perfect. So can somebody just pop the time on so we know what time we are? If that's all right, on the comments.
Yes, I can.
Because I think someone can, because I'm happy to do a little bit more if we've got time.
Okay, Michelle Lightworker, our producer. She's the...
Beautiful. It's 10:40. We've got Andrew. Hey. So I feel like I just want to do one last piece before we can round up, I guess. But this is really about. This is a message from Thoth. Yeah, Thoth. So the Atlantean Priest King. So and that's who I've been guided to work with in my live events in Sydney this year, and he's working particularly with the transformation of the body through cellular consciousness. So I feel like this energy that wants to come through is really about a deprogramming of negative traits, shall we say. So, say again?
Sorry, such a synchronicity, Michael, because I was gifted at Christmas by a good friend of mine, Laura, a book called The Tablets of Light, channeled by Danielle Rama Hoffman, and she's actually talking about Thoth there.
Beautiful.
And the whole book is about it.
Fantastic. Well, he also wrote a book called The Emerald Green Tablets as well, which is, maybe it's a similar,
yes.
I don't know, yeah. And it's basically a transmission of consciousness through the written word. Yes. And so I feel like what he's doing with me is actually, he's bringing through a transmission of consciousness to shift the cellular, us at a cellular level so that we can actually awaken. And part of that awakening process is to release the genetic imprints that we've collected along the way, from family, from past lives, all the way from the first incarnation in the energetic template. He's wanting to purify those out so that we come back to a state of peace, oneness, and stillness within each of the individual cells, so that then that can be a platform for a new consciousness state to arise on the planet, if we can all move towards more of that. Yeah. So this energy that now would like to come through is from Thoth, and it's really it's sort of like it's going to if you can imagine, it's going to dance around the edges of each cell, like the cellular membrane of each cell. And it's going to just work on shifting and releasing any energies that no longer serve. Yeah. So definitely for people to drink water after this session. Yeah. Okay. So but again, all you have to do is really listen to the sound. Yeah. Bishopodero to the Gabo Shalabana Shakabana Kikoto to Katanaka to the Bishka go to the Gigodargi. She lay get the Katakatania Shile Pukuno Kusho, Beteki no Yoki Patatataka, Diapataka, Tatataka. So just breathing the energy down. And as you let the energy settle, I want you to imagine that surrounding you is a blue bubble around your energy and your auric field. And this blue bubble is going to surround and protect you as you integrate and assimilate these energies during your day. It is overlighted by the energy of Angel Michael. And it is really just to support you in a cocoon of love and light and powerful strength as you integrate these energies that we worked with today. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Blessings be. So just gently grounding yourself, and when you're ready, coming back to the room.
Wow, that was amazing, Michael.
Are you okay? How are you going?
I think I need to have a lay down. No, but it's just, I felt what you said about going to, I was picturing my biology teacher drawing on the board the membrane of the cell, and that's the way that it felt, it going that way, but also the sound was going through every part of my being and then going out. It was like it was fluid.
I love the way you can articulate your experience so well. It's so nice to have people that are open to this work and able to feel it. And for the listeners, everybody experiences it in a different way. Everybody feels it in a different way. Sometimes people feel it in their body, sometimes people feel it in their energy or their mind. So it's just whatever really resonates for you. I just go with your own flow, for sure.
Correct. Michael, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of Enlightened Conversations, for making yourself available, for bringing truly your gift, not only to us, but truly opening yourself up to the world. And from my soul to yours, I just want to give you a big hug and thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for the warm, beautiful invite too. It's been a pleasure to share my work and share what my journey has been today. Thank you.
Just before I let you go, for people that they may be watching now or later on replay, if you can tell us, please, where they can find you.
Okay, so you can sign up to my Facebook group, Soul Magic Collective, or you can look at my website, soulmagiccollective.com. You can also sign up to me as a friend on Facebook, Michael Muir. All of these will give you free transmissions, keep you up to date on my workshops and other events that I'm participating in. So yeah, and people are welcome to reach out and message me on Messenger or give me a buzz if they'd like to arrange a session. And I do half an hour and 1 hour healing sessions with light language, both face-to-face and through distance healing, which could be on Skype, on FaceTime, or through Facebook. Yeah.
Michael, before I let you go, final question. Have you thought of doing group work online at all?
I have, and that feels like it's my next challenge, mentally and technologically.
Sure.
I am hoping to start some group work online, maybe on Zoom, and bring through some online activations. I haven't got my head around the technology yet, but for the future, yes. And if anyone wants to give me some guidance, they can message me.
Actually, our executive producer, Michelle Lightworker, you may want to just chat with her behind the scenes. She has used Zoom using on Enlightened Conversations last year, so she can give you the ins and outs.
Oh, fantastic. That would be beautiful. Thank you so much.
Because I'm like you, I learn along the way and I pick up new things, but yes, you need to become comfortable with that technology in order to be able to do it with people later.
Yeah, I feel like the work that I do is particularly activating people, and I feel like it's to get out to as many as I can at this time. That's the guidance I've been given. So I feel that I'm very much open to doing online groups for sure in the future.
Because to many people out there, Michael, they probably, if they live in Australia, they may not be able to get to you in Sydney. I always think of economical situations that people may be in, and they may not be able to fly to Sydney to fork out the money for the workshop and all of that. And when you actually make it available online, it becomes in your own lounge room, and probably as well the price would be much more affordable to people, and you can reach out to people around the world, really.
That's the aim in down the track for sure. And yeah, I agree with everything you just said, because sometimes it's it's just not possible to do the face-to-face financially,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes. Michael, once again, thank you so much for your gift, for your kindness. I wish you so much unconditional love and all the best for the future, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you. Good luck with this program, guys. Okay.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Take care.
We'll speak
Bye-bye.
to you soon. Bye. And as Michael is going off there to continue with his day, and thank you once again for joining us on Enlightened Conversations. It's been a pleasure having you all here. Thank you once again, Michael. Happy birthday, Irina, in Slovenia. I hope that not only Irina, but all of you enjoyed the program here today with the beautiful gift that Michael Muir brought to all of us. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors for this program, Light Worker Foundation and White Light Publishing House. Thank you all very much, and until I see you next time on Enlightened Conversations, remember, believe in angels because they do believe in you. Much love to all. Thank you.